Welcome to Straight No Filter.
Today we are going to be talking about a little bit about domestic violence. This is in honor of October, which is National Domestic Violence Month. And there's some statistic out there that says that every minute at least 20 people are victims of physical domestic violence. And that's just, it just ought not be. It just ought not be. So, I mean, I think even lately there were some other reports of domestic violence going on in people's homes, and
truly unacceptable. Unacceptable. It is time that we do more at this time than talk about it. Of course, we need our government officials to do their part in many ways. So many things can take place on the local level. Then, of course, on a higher level, it is just horrendous about the violence that has been occurring in many situations.
Yeah, and it's so sad because we look at it, we see the shows that are done about it. We see the different drama TV shows that have instances of domestic violence shown, and they portray, the women to be a certain way, just staying in it, or sometimes they have the women getting out of it and fighting back, and people never know what they would do in a situation like that. But the thing is, those domestic violence situations, they end up affecting not only the adults in the relationships, but they affect the children. Even if the children are not actually physically abused, them seeing that pattern of behavior from one of their guardians is something that they're logging and registering in their mind. So when they see basically mom or dad being victimized, abused by the other parent, and nothing's done, in their mind, this is okay. If someone is the dominant partner, it's okay for that dominant partner to go ahead and get their way by abusing the non-dominant partner.
Or as they say now, placing your hands. Placing your hands on someone. You don't place your hands on anyone. This era needs to see how things can be worked out effectively with communication. You don't place hands on anyone because they don't agree with you. They even go so far as saying, even if they don't like you, you don't place your hands on that person. I mean, what is this teaching your little ones? Well, needless to say, that domestic violence is bullying,
right?
On a whole new scale.
Right.
It starts from bullying.
That's what it is, exactly. And I know that earlier I mentioned the statistic about at least 20 people a minute, and that was just for physical. If you want to think about the different levels of bullying or abuse, where it starts with just the words, the taunting, and the withholding certain things unless you do what I say, or forcing people to make a choice on something that they don't want to do based on their livelihoods, things like that.
That's bullying.
That is bullying. There's so many different levels besides or outside of the physical putting hands on someone. If you look at, right now, we have it going on right now. There's the mandate that's going on. That is a form of bullying. That's, people can choose or should be able to choose what they're going to do with their medical health based on their own personal beliefs and what's going on, and not have to base their livelihoods or defend their livelihoods based on that choice. Not to mention, we have all these things going on with the kids in school, right?
Yes.
we always want to say, oh, let's stop the bullying. Let's show the kids that this is not the way to go. But when they have all of these examples, whether it's at the home or whether it's on a wider socioeconomic scale, then what else are they going to do? They're seeing bullying every day, and no one's stopping that on the greater level. So why should they stop in their school?
Yes, that's a very good point. The children, oh my thoughts and heart go to the children, and they're seeing this every day. They're seeing this from the authority figures in their lives. And children are very good mimickers and imitators. Do we not tell them, do what I say, do what I do what I say? And that's what they do. They're so impressionable. They're seeing this. They're seeing this bullying on such a wide range in everything, in every part of their life. So that's what we wanted to say concerning bullying, and how the domestic violence really begins way back at the form of bullying.
That's right.
And so we want to be very cognizant of that during this month and every day. It should be a daily thought that you put your hands on no one. You put your mouth against no one concerning their choices in life, their behaviors, their opinions. It is not agreeing with you. Now, if their behavior, of course, is unacceptable, like bullying and domestic violence, yes, you have a responsibility to speak out and say something, but it's a way to do it. You don't have to say these things in a derogatory, insulting manner and hurtful ways. There are ways to get things accomplished. It has to stop.
It does.
It has to stop. Go on.
Yeah, and looking like as you say, it stems from the root of it is bullying. And from what I've read, what I've heard, it never starts with just immediately someone putting hands on the other person.
Exactly.
It starts with words or other little actions. So I wanted to take a look at what are some of the red flags that you can kind of see early on in a relationship, or when you're first meeting someone, that can kind of let you know what?
Very good.
This
red
is
flags.
not the person. This is, I need to distance myself. I don't need this person as a friend. I don't need this person as a romantic partner. One of the red flags I would think is, let's say name calling.
Oh yeah.
People today, they want to use words that normally have a negative connotation. They want to use them in like a friendly form, like that's making it so, calling your girlfriend a B, or saying something kind of shady, but saying it with a smile on your face.
That's it. Very good example. Personally, I had always taken a second look at my friends from grammar school, high school, college on up. Always saying something that didn't appear to be quite friendly, but they put a smile with it and wanted me to accept it. I knew then at that time, no, that is not friendship. And I distanced myself from that relationship. And you don't have to tolerate that sort of thing. The name calling has got to stop.
Yeah.
Whether it be, not even just say, you're not even calling a person a B, but you may say, oh, you're so stingy. oh, you are so, how could you not see that?
Right.
How could you? Look at the tone in which that takes. Watch your tones. I mean, really, it starts with you.
Yeah.
It starts with you. I was going to say it starts at home, which it does.
Definitely.
In the house with the parents. And it starts with that look in the mirror, as Michael Jackson quite eloquently told us. It starts with the person in the mirror.
Yeah. You
start with yourself.
make the change.
You make the change.
And something that, you know, we find ourselves doing on, I think all too often, everyone has these moments of self-doubt. Sometimes when you are looking at a person or you're in a situation and you get this warning in your spirit, in your mind, like, no. But
there it is.
Because of traditions of society,
There
things like that, well, let me give this person another chance. Well, you know, maybe they didn't mean it that way. Or, no, I should look at it this way. I shouldn't be so harsh. I shouldn't be so judgmental. We have our instincts for a reason. There is a reason that we get a certain, you know, cringy feeling about situations, people, places, things. And we have to not ignore it. We have to acknowledge those feelings and stop looking at other people to see, oh, well, what are they going to think about me if I, you know, go with my first gut feeling.
I am so glad you brought that up. Whoa. Because they will tell you, a girlfriend will say, and you say, oh, I have a funny feeling about that. You know what a girlfriend will say? Here's just common phrase they have. Oh, you got to get out of your comfort zone. Well, wait a minute.
No, thank you.
Let's rethink that. First of all, think back to the scenarios where we've had these wonderful women. They'll come out and they said, oh, I was in this situation and I did not feel comfortable with that. That's the common thing that the women are saying. They did not feel comfortable with that. But then they'll hear a voice, oh, you got to get out of your comfort zone. And they'll go ahead and continue the action that they didn't feel comfortable with. And that has landed them in what we have today. That has landed them in so much horror. Yeah. That's the only way to call it. Because they will say, okay, I'm not feeling comfortable about this, but oh, my girlfriend would tell me, oh, get out of your comfort. No, honey, that is your instinct. That is your safety. Listen to your instincts.
Exactly.
Feel it. Stop listening to that. Your comfort zone is what has guided you to make great decisions in your life.
Right.
So.
Right. And those people, and even ourselves, we have to get out of the habit of trying to direct someone's choices. If your friend does not want to go to this party with you, I mean, yeah, you can say, hey, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. I think you should go. It won't be the same without you. But when they say no, and whether or not they have a legitimate reason in your mind for not wanting to go, you have to accept their decision. They don't want to go. It's not up to you to drag them or to, again, you know, say, get out your comfort zone or do anything like that.
That's bullying.
Respect their decision. That is bullying.
That's bullying.
That's bullying.
Think about it. It seems to be minuscule on a minor scale. It's like, okay, this is my girlfriend. She just wants me to go to a party with her. Oh, and she's saying, oh, come on, you gotta go, you gotta go. Well, she's using what they would call it peer pressure. But that's a colloquialism, a euphemism for
bullying.
Bullying.
That's it. That's all it is.
Peer pressure. Peer pressure is bullying, but it's being done, as we talked about earlier, on a scale that seems like, oh, it's friendly, I'm just playing, we're just having fun, oh, you should do this, you should do that. That's their choice. They don't want to do that. Let's think about these things. Let's truly think about these things.
Exactly.
The next time you're trying to convince your friend of something, and she or he has told you once they don't want to do that, it is not your job to try to convince them. Oh, they just don't know how to have fun. But you're going to show them how to have fun? How many instances have we seen when that person did go to that party with their friend I won't even say what happened, but it
Right.
was horrible.
Right.
The friend couldn't find the other friend. It was horrible.
Yeah.
The friendship fell apart. There was no more friendship.
No more friendship.
Because this person, oh, I went to that person, they told me they did. No. Listen to your instincts. Stay in your comfort zone. That's your instinct.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just I guess the last thing I remember a movie. I think it was Denzel Washington. Was it The Little Things or something like that? And you know, I don't think I'm spoiling it much, but there was one of the characters in there who.
Well, if they haven't seen Denzel's movie by now, spoil it for them. Then they need to go and see it.
So Denzel plays a detective in here, or some sort of detective. But basically, there was a woman who was in her home alone one evening. A guy shows up at her door, knocks on her door, asked to come in. I think he was saying he was like from a gas company or something like that. Something that, you know, is kind of innocuous, but she got that little twinge. Like, I don't think so. But the guy is like, hey, it's just going to take a quick second. I'll check this. But everything in her was like, and she let him in, and that was the end for her.
She didn't feel any comfort with it.
And one of the things that Denzel said, or Denzel's character said, I don't remember the exact words, but he was like, you had that inkling, but then you said life's too short. And now, that's it. I mean, you have that. You can't use colloquialisms or common vernacular of the day to push aside your instincts. Life is not too short. Life
It's precious.
is precious. That's what you have to remember. Don't just push aside those instincts. Don't just disregard your comfort. You have to take that into account because that's the reason we have it. We're not going to make that something negative when it was given to us as a protection or a form of protection.
Thank you. That's what we wanted to say about the domestic violence,
Exactly.
the bullying, where it
It
starts.
starts there and it has to stop, and it stops with you, with the choices that you make to acknowledge your feelings.
Your feelings, your instinct. It's called women's intuition for a reason. Women's comfort. So ladies, be safe.
Follow your gut. And even men have gotten into situations like that. Follow your gut instincts. They're there for a reason. Okay?
We want you safe.
We want you safe.